We all want Manchester United to be more ruthless, right? When it comes to getting rid of players, when it comes to signings. Well, I don't think we can afford to ignore what's going on at Aston Villa. And I'm definitely not talking about Emi Martinez. Let me explain what I mean. So when it comes to properly being ruthless in the summer transfer window, there are various ways that Manchester United can do it. You know, actually selling players rather than holding on to them forever. Signing players, being good, being quick, but also flexing, taking advantages of situations, exactly what I want to talk about in this video. I felt quite strongly about this. Genuinely, I think there's an opportunity with what's going on at Villa right now and this summer that United have got to take advantage of. I don't care if it ruins a relationship with Villa. I don't care about a relationship with Villa. The amount of clubs that have taken the piss out of United over these last few years, I want to try and flip that. And look, let's get into the conversation. And I'm going to start this conversation with Emi Martinez, who is the actual Villa player that we've been linked with. And I saw his reports come out. Talked about it in the live show today. 40 million. Yeah, okay. Well, first of all, he wouldn't be my choice even if we were going to replace Andre Onana this summer, which I wish we were. But 40 million is laughable. And this is exactly why. I've already spoken about this previously. But Aston Villa. Let's scroll down. Actually, no, you can't see it there. Let's go back to the other one. Full screen. Aston Villa are right at the bottom of Premier League clubs who were in Premier League last season. When it comes to PSR, they can only spend £15 million this summer without a fear of breaching PSR. That's because in the 2023-24 season, Villa spent 96% of their club's turnover on wages. They've had a good rise in the last few years, but they've not done it sustainably. And this is the summer where I think United can take advantage of that. In a dream world, I already said going into the summer who my dream signing would have been. It would have been Morgan Rogers. But, you know, we've signed Cunha now. We're going after Mbeumo. I don't think this is a conversation that United need to have. But there are some opportunities. And I'm telling you, there's multiple ones in that Villa squad with players that I could look at and go, yeah, I'd love him at United. He was my dream midfield signing last summer. Went from Everton to Villa instead. Hasn't had the most incredible season at Villa. I think he had some injuries at the start. I don't think he's going to be leaving Villa. But why not have the conversation? Test the waters, because you know that this isn't a situation you could take advantage of. I think Rogers won't happen. I think Rogers will stay. I think Amadou Onana feels unrealistic. As much as I'd love us to go for him. But there are others where genuinely there's conversation to be had. And I think Ollie Watkins is one of them. Ollie Watkins last season, I think there was definitely damage done between the relationship between him and Emery over what happened with Rashford. Rashford went on loan, ended up starting in their two biggest games of the season against PSG and against City. Watkins, who was their main man, kind of pushed to the side. It's a bit of a weird dynamic. I'm surprised Emery did that. But Watkins, his contract runs until what? 2028. So it's not as if he's going to be a free agent anytime soon. But I see him as a potential market opportunity. And that's what, that's what this whole thing is. This financial situation with Villa, I feel, is a market opportunity for United. And Watkins strikes me as one of the best examples of that. Would I rather we went out there and spent £75 million on Ekitike, which is probably the top end of the price it would be, with either Ekitike or Osimhen or Gyökeres, or would I rather we spent... How much do you think? Now, transfer market got him down as 40 million euros. 29, he's 30 in December. He's somebody that you would sign to have an impact for a couple of years and maybe steward someone like, I don't know, Chido Obi until he's at the point where he can become United's first team striker. Or maybe you could steer Højlund if Højlund was to stay, but I think I'd rather sell Højlund. But seems like an opportunity. Boubacar Kamara. They signed him on a free transfer. United should have done that, man. The amount of Kamara and Marcus Thuram, two of the free signings that we definitely missed out on. Again, transfer market got him down as a 40 million euro signing. I don't exactly know how much it would be, but whatever price it is there, basically cut it in half. Maybe not cut it in half, but you cut that down because of the financial insecurity that Villa have given themselves. It's their choice to spend how they've spent, to give the wages that they've given versus the turnover that their club generates. I think Boubacar Kamara could be an option. We need a midfield signing this summer, and it may well be that the big signings of Cunha and Mbeumo mean that we're going to have to look elsewhere for opportunities. And Kamara, I think, is probably a more realistic one than Onana, even if Onana would be my first choice, basically. Now, Yuri Tielemans is somebody that I think a lot of United fans might talk about still. What is he now? 28? Still would be a good signing. I think Kamara would be more suited to exactly what United's midfield would need. But technically, it's another opportunity. As is Enzo Barrenetxea. Basically, Villa signed him from Juve, then loaned him to Valencia for the whole of last season, and now he's come back to the club. They didn't pay much for him. Don't particularly think he's got on a position inside that Villa squad. So may well be kind of an easy opportunity to take advantage of. And it's just something I want to see United do, man. Right? Aiden Heaven. The example of Aiden Heaven was a job well done by Jason Wilcox. Somebody who, Omar Barada, in his interview with United We Stand, said that Jason really understands English football and he knows how to take advantage of certain opportunities. A bit like Aiden Heaven not seeing his Arsenal contract through and having the talent to come into United and actually be good enough to be inside our first team squad environment far earlier than any of us thought he could be. That was a market opportunity. And I'd love Jason Wilcox to be sitting there looking at Aston Villa going, I tell you what, Onana, Watkins, Kamara, Tielemans, Barrenetxea, there's some real opportunities there. Would it damage a relationship between United and Villa? Potentially. Do I really care? No. What do I value more? United getting certain players maybe at a cut price? Or do I value us getting Christmas cards from Villa? Clubs have taken the piss out of United for years and years and years because of our desperation in transfer markets, because of the United tax, because we always overpay. It's just become part and parcel of our identity in the transfer market. And I just see the fact that Villa are sitting there on the edge of PSR concerns, more concerns than any other Premier League club now, apart from Burnley, who just got promoted, so they don't count for now. Take advantage of that, man. I put all of those, maybe I wouldn't put all of those players ahead of Emi Martinez, but if I'm going to be going after Villa to take advantage of this situation, I wouldn't be going after Emi Martinez first. And I hope this is something that Wilcox drives and something that we do see emerge in the summer. There's plenty of the summer to go. You can let me know what you think. If there is an Aston Villa, I'll ask you this question. If there was an Aston Villa player you'd like us to go after, and I don't really think there's too much point us mentioning Rodgers. You can mention Onana if you want. It's not outside the realms of possibility, but I don't think mention Rodgers because I don't think it can happen. Who would you go after? Because for me, I don't know. It definitely wouldn't be Emi Martinez first.